Hello, people of the earth. We have come for you. Michael is probing all of your children. I mean, not your young children, legal children.
I don't know what he's talking about.
That just came out bad all the way around. I
That's that.
apologize to
That's
people.
that New Orleans. We don't do that in New York, buddy.
So yeah, see, yeah, y'all be sure to go check out Kathy. We were paying an ad before she came on. Uh, uh, Kathy follows us on Friday nights. Y'all should check her out. She's got a good thing going on around the holidays, so go check it out and be sure. And y'all hear
She has
more about it.
a huge vibrating. What do they call that? Uh,
Crystal.
Big chunk of crystal, man. Like she sits on top of it,
Oh
and
man,
and it
Michael can
vibrates.
make how Michael can make a pretty little crystal sound bad is beyond me, man. But anyway, welcome to the Central Stage, gentlemen. So Mike and I right now, if everybody joins us, that's fine. Jay's going to try later on. We are looking for a fourth host for this. Really, we would. Well, I shouldn't say this; it's going to get me in trouble. But really, we're looking for a female host, someone as centralist, leftist, rightist, down the middle kind of host. That's what we're really looking for. And Jay McNichols joins us every couple of shows, and Michael and I can wreak havoc anywhere we are. But we like to have a nice quartet there to run the show because it's a good show. And we like to get in a lot of news, and we like to get in a lot of opinion with the news. Like, why does Joe Biden suck so much? Because he sucks so much. I don't even have an explanation. In the beginning, I was like, well, he's right in. He's just trying to get rid of Trump shit. Oh, it's this, he's that, it's this. No, he's a moron. I don't even know what to say about him anymore. I'm just like, oh my god, he's a moron. Does he not see? It's almost like Trump set him up. It's like the Trump set up the Democrats actually. So he's got all this stuff going. He knew whoever took over was going to shut it all down. The oil. He knew when they shut it down, it was going to be a nightmare. You shut all that extra oil coming in the country where we were leading the world in production. So now we went from I was paying $1.09 a gallon. Now we're paying $3.09 a gallon. So it's $2 up here. I was just recently out in LA. It was anywhere from 470 to 720 out there. That was just hauntingly scary. Um, and then all of a sudden we got a border crisis when we didn't have one for the last uh, few 4 or 5 years. So I think he set him up. I think he knew that they were going to come in and do it. I think he did. Trump supporter, not Trump supporter. I don't really think it matters at this point. Trump did some good things. I got to say this: Trump did more good things in his first 8 months in office than Biden, and that's all I can say. Well, you take it for what it is, and he had the complete press hating him, and Nancy Pelosi and everybody else hating him. He still managed to get good stuff done. Honestly, if the media turned on Biden the way they try, he'd be on. Oh, Camilla, they hate me. Yeah, of course they do. He's protected by the press. I mean, seriously protected by the press. If it wouldn't be for people like us and a couple of one world America, one world news, BBC World, they like to report American news. That cracks me up too. So BBC World will report their own countries. Oh, there's nothing going on here. It's all great. And they'll talk about America and they'll report every scandal going on in the country, which is good because we get to hear it because American news doesn't really readily talk about that anymore. Unfortunately, these days, I listened to NBC try to explain how everything that was going on right now was Trump's fault. And even the people who were interacting in comments said, no, I don't think you can blame this on Trump. Trump had a good economy. Even with COVID, he had a good economy. You can't really blame this on him. And then they start squirming. Biden can't take any direct questions from anybody. They only give him select pieces of media, people that are going to pamper him like Anderson, Pooper. Well, Mr. Pooper, Mr. Biden, I'm Mr. Pooper, and I just want to ask you some Sesame Street questions, and we can move along after that. It's like just like screw America is what it is. And what gets me is how blind some of these NBC and CNN listeners are. It's just hilariously stupid. Look, ABC, CBS, and y'all. ABC and CBS goes both ways a lot of times. Sometimes it's more left and right, but still, if it's something going on that needs to be put out, they'll put it out. NBC and CNN, not so much. If it's anything that will make them look bad or make any Democrat look bad in any shape, form, or fashion, they are not going to put that out as news. I mean, they love Biden. They think he is the greatest thing since cracked wheat. Well, or crackhead. Did I get that wrong? Yeah, it might have been crackheads. Maybe I should move to Wisconsin. Yeah, there we go. Michael's going to leave New York. I don't know where the hell he's going.
I'm going
Vegas
out
seems,
west, man.
yeah, Nevada sounds just as effed up as New York does right at the moment. So you might want to wait and see how that works out. They got some issues going on out there right now. Too many Californians moving out there. Too many transplants. It's so funny how California and New York, the two greatest states in the union forever. I mean, New York has been the shining beacon of America for as long as I've been alive. And California's been the place everybody wanted to go to. Now, all of a sudden, everybody wants to move out of both of them. And in mass. I mean, they're expecting 3 million out of each state this year, and they each lost 2 million last year. So, hey, I got to say one thing. If you're coming down here, move to Austin. Well, let me rephrase it. If you're a liberal, which you probably are, and you're coming down here, move to Austin. You will love Austin. It's a great city. I could make it a big, huge, massive city. Yes, we don't want you spreading out and thinning the vote out. So just move to Austin, or something on those lines. You can move to Dade County, Florida. That'll work too. That's just one.
I wouldn't live in Texas, man. What's the attraction?
Oh, there's lots of attraction in Texas. They got all kind of stuff in Texas. Texas is like living in the whole country in one state. It's got everything. You can go snow skiing. No, man, it's a whole kind of different kind of weathers. I got some family up in Amarillo right now. It's cold. We snowing up there. Down in South, you can go water skiing. They got mountains. They got windmills. They got deserts. They got everything there. They got big, huge malls that make you. They got a mall. Look, they got a mall in Houston the size of New York City, man. What are you talking about? What you got to do there?
Mall's not appealing to me.
Well, not to me either. But then you got all the.
I like cool people. I haven't met that with Texans. I like.
Well, you're not in the right places. You probably
good weather. I haven't met that with Texas. It's a good place to visit, especially the Panhandle up there. There's a lot of cool stuff. Or down on the coast and all that. That's pretty cool too. But as a whole, I know people who live there, and they're always talking about getting the hell out of there.
Yeah,
because all the ice storm, snowstorm, tornado.
Oh, they've had one ice storm since I've been alive. I don't know what the hell that was.
They got all kinds of BS going on, man.
That was China trying out some new weather weapon or something. I don't know what the hell that was about. They get a lot of floods in Houston there.
In New York, if you get an ice storm, like you're ready for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but y'all get rolling blackouts just for shits and giggles. You never see that happen in Texas.
Texas, you got cows flying around from tornadoes.
You get cows flying around from tornadoes, that's true. But you don't get rolling blackouts. They don't ever cut your power off unless it's a hurricane or something.
In Texas, you saw what happened. And then those people have to pay thousands of bucks now, man, for the electric because of these companies gouge the electric bill.
Well, no, what they do is, and they legally can do this, which pissed me off, by the way. So right after Katrina, it's me and whoever's living in my house. We had a bunch of people there because we had a 3-bedroom townhouse, and we had parts of our crews and all staying with us. So the first electric bill I get is $1,900. I looked at it, and my average light bill there was about $400 before that. And I was like, yeah, $1,900. So I called them with the blah, 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 blah. And it's surcharges for anybody staying. Everybody's got. I said, whoa, because I come back to help y'all as a first responder. You're going to tax me out of existence. I was like, what? So no. Second bill was $2,200 for the first 6 months. None of my bills were under $2,000 except for that one. So and then after that, they went right after that, Mike. They went $500 a month.
They charge you for every person in the house?
No, they charged us. It was a tax for them coming back and getting the power on.
Oh. So
because we were there, yeah, because we were there and being first responders and helping people out and getting places to live, they hit us because we were there. I said, well, wait, none of these other people are going to have to pay that when they get back, and they didn't. 6 months later, when most of the people started coming back, they didn't get hit with those. It was just all of us that were there first. I was like, that is some bullshit. And I had all kind of shit fits about it, but the city didn't care. They're like, well, that's how it is. I was like, and there wasn't enough of us to be concerned about, There's only about 10,000 of us in the area at the time. I'm telling you, dude, it was seriously like the Wild Wild West. You couldn't get no more Wild Wild West than that, man.
You really can't help people, man. There's no help for people.
Well,
the more you try to help them, the more they screw you over. That's my experience.
There's some people you can help. You're right, though. I mean, I do say this a lot. No good deed goes unpunished. But there are some people you can help. I've been able to help some people over the years. And some people appreciate it, some people don't. It's not even about the appreciation, but can you help somebody, that's in a bad spot. But you're right. A lot of times when you help somebody, they just expect more is what happens.
You said it best. Help people who are in a bad spot, but there are people out there who are habitually there. You know what I mean? Like they're always in a bad spot.
They're always in a bad spot,
and you can't help them. But then these storms come along, and those people have been in a bad spot. Then they blame it on the storm, or they say, it's disproportionate for whatever reason. I'm tired of all these excuses, man. Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know what? It doesn't help anybody.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't help any. Oh, wait. Here, talk for a second. Hold on a second. I need to do something quick.
La 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 la, yeah. I'm gonna talk about the Halloween show, man. October 31st. I'll say it like the vampire. Blah 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 blah. Blah. October 31st. I'll say it like if what's that, Bernie Sanders, if he was a vampire. October 31st. Join Joe Montaldo and Amelia Pisano and Michael Angley and a host of freaks and goblins and ghouls and everybody. Who else gonna be there? Everybody.
Yes. I haven't heard from any of the Chasing Prophecy or any of the Horsefly Chronicle group, but everybody else said they're going to be there. And I'm
Even
going
the
to hit.
Satanists are going to be there.
I'm going to even hit Ben and Will, see if they're going to come join us and hang out for a while. See what they're up to, see what kind of craziness they're doing. It's I even asked a couple of syndicated. I don't know if they're still by. Usually, most of them are out doing investigations.
We gotta get Ben, man. It's been too long. Too long.
I've been. He was at the last meeting, and but you know, I was. Yeah, so you missed out. So you could have seen him if he was there. It's but I seen.
I had to work, man. I had to fight this virus. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so it's no. We got. I was supposed to go on investigation to Sunday. I was invited to go to 2 of the swamp investigations, but I was like, no, I think we'll pass on that. It's I've done a lot of investigations in swamp. Right now, it's not too bad because mosquitoes aren't too bad, but you know, you still got to worry about the alligators and the black bears and whatever else might be roaming around out there.
How many black bear attacks are there really?
Not really a lot. Most black bears or brown bears will usually go the other way unless you do something stupid like charge at them, and then of course they're going to come rip your head off your shoulder.
I mean, there's a lot of alligator attacks all over the place. I mean, we're in like the Carolinas.
Well, but they're not really attacks because people are ignorant. Ignorant, man. I'm telling you, folks, you're ignorant. That's why you get messed up with alligator. Alligators aren't like crocodiles. They would prefer to go the other way and be left the hell alone. But no, people are going to stick their hands out like this with food in, and an alligator goes up to grab food, takes the whole hand with them.
No, I'm talking about people like fucking walking their dogs along the water in these places that have alligators. I would just never walk along the water that has alligators, man. Even in Disneyland.
No, man. Well, no. Well, see, that was nothing. He was in the water. It's and the gator just said, "Hey, that looks like a little fat snack," and grabbed it. It's unfortunate. That kind of shit does happen. Though they will grab them out of pirogues and stuff like that.
Well, people end up getting eaten because they save their dog.
Well, maybe we should take Joe Biden on a walk down the bayou. Is all I'm saying. Hey, Mr. Biden, we want to go show you how to bayou.
I don't think alligator would like him. He's kind of
no. Put some goods. You know, put some meat rub on him. Let him walk
He's
along
old,
the edge.
man. That's tough meat right there. That's
old. No, wait, no. You see, no, wait.
That's like
he's so no, wait, no, Mike. He's so old that it's gotten tender again. That's how old he is. He's going from being tough old guy to old tender. See, I'd be a tough old guy. I'd be getting on and have to get some steak juice out.
That Camella, that's a tasty morsel.
Oh, right, you and a Camella. What is this hot thing with Camella? I can't. I'm not even going to be to do the news for the next 10 minutes.
Actually, I think she's. Camella. You know, she's kind. You know, she's showing her age, but I think she's attractive, man.
Oh my God! So, ladies and gentlemen, close your ears for a minute. So you want to poke Camella, is what you're telling me, right?
I mean, oh my God! I respect her as a prosecutor.
I'm not even going there. I'm just leaving that alone.
She put a lot of criminals in jail.
Yeah, she put a lot of black people in jail is what she did. I don't know about criminals.
Well, black people committed crimes.
Well, yeah, whatever.
They were just sitting there.
I don't think they were all criminals. I'm just.
They weren't just sitting there on the street.
It's. I don't think they were all.
They put me in jail. You got to do something to get there. You know, when the cops show up, usually there's a crime going on. It's not like they just show up. Yeah, no, sometimes it's mistaken identity.
No, wait a minute. Wait. Stop a second. I'm glad you brought that up. So the other day I'm listening to New Orleans Police, right? And they're talking about how almost 70% of all their calls they go to are not cop related. They don't need to be there. So they're like, look, we're all for police reform, because then we don't have to go to all these calls, all these junk. They call them junk calls. It's just stupid calls that they don't really need to be there for.
Like bank robberies, stuff like that.
Anything they're going to get shot is what you're telling me. I don't know about all that.
The dangerous ones. They want the
Oh
good
wait!
ones.
Somebody's wait. We got to get on this for a second. Somebody sent me a thing in about Elon Musk. This is news, but we've talked about this in the past.
We love Elon on this show.
So Mike and I have talked to actually several hosts in the network, and Jason's in it. He can comment on this. So I listen to Elon talk, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, I like you, Elon. You're inventing this. You're gonna probably get the cure for cancer. You're gonna probably really do a lot of good stuff for our society. And then he says stuff like, yes, and I want to build my colony on Mars. Hint, my colony on Mars, and I want the laws and the rules to reflect me. I was like. It's every time I go right back to Moonraker in my head, that old stupid
Yeah, man.
Bond movie. I mean, it goes right back to like, oh, he's the evil.
He looks just like
And I
that guy
love
too.
look, Elon. If you're listening, man, I love you, dude. So I've been trying to get an interview with you like a year, but still, it just gives me that twisted feel like, are we gonna have like laser guards walking around? And I do like Elon though. I like all of them. We got Bison, a whole bunch of them. I like all of them. We talked about this way back in the day when I used to host for Wake Up USA. I said the only way we're going to ever get into space in a real way is to privatize, and they're proving me right every effing day. They're proving me right because it's the only way. The government ain't going to spend all this money, and
He'll
they're
open
making
up
it a
the
thing.
B&B, but it's all good. It's going to come down to mining. Like these
Mm,
big mining companies,
yeah, I
man.
agree.
They're going to want to go out there and get the good stuff.
Well, see what's going to happen is you're going to have several things going on, just like the Wild Wild West. You're going to need this every time you get a group of people together. You're going to need certain things. You're going to have. So they're going to build. I think I heard the government talking about this just recently. Actually, when Trump was in president, I haven't heard much since Biden. I heard a little tinkle the other day from NASA, but they want to put a colony on the moon, a full blown colony that stays there all the time, a colony of at least 1,000 people or more. So if you're gonna have that many people there, you're gonna need certain things, certain goods, certain comforts and stuff that you can't find floating around on the moon, I guess. And then I've heard at least 5 companies in 3 countries want to put hotels in space so that, like Benson or Elon can fly you up there and stay at the local Holiday Inn buzzing over the country. I wonder if they're going to be if they're going to have to be in stationary orbit or they're going to be allowed to orbit. Because, I was thinking, we could use them for spy satellites. Oh, no, it's just a hotel there, Putin. Don't worry about it, man. Oh, it's some beams coming out of it. No, that's just to help stabilize it, dude. Just don't pay attention to that. It's kind of a strange thing, but what was that, Christopher? The UFO paranormal chat room is open. You can go in there. Not the one on Pal. Well, one on Pal Talk's open too, but I don't think it's ready. But you can come to the one on. We've been trying to drive everybody since United Public got shut down. We're trying to drive everybody to the UFO paranormal radio.
Humans are amazing. Humans are like an infectious disease, man. Jumping off of the infected Earth onto other things, it's kind of like amazing when you think about it. It's like humans aren't bringing much to the universe at all. And it's great to want to go back to Mars. We'll say go back to Mars.
I wouldn't argue that. I'm kind of with you. I think we are going back to Mars, so I wouldn't actually
Or maybe
argue
there
that.
are already some people there. And then here we are. We're going to terraform it to our. Think about it. What humans have become in such a long time, breathing the atmosphere here and conditioned this different type of conditioning. I don't know, man.
Well, Mars is going to be interesting. We're going there now. It's just a matter of time, unless we blow ourselves off the planet here, or Xi Jinping thinks Biden's so weak that he can nuke us or
Would you
something.
go, man? Would you go to
I'd
Mars?
go to Mars, man. I'd be going in a heartbeat. My wife gets all the time. She always gets offended when I say I'd be going in a heartbeat, but it's I would go.
What would you do there?
I'd be a DJ, man. What are you talking about?
You'd be a DJ,
Hell yeah,
like
you
a
gotta have
Martian
music.
DJ.
Oh yeah, I'll be spinning records, doing little thing, making reports to Earth. Good evening and welcome to the Joe Montaldo live from Mars show. I know it's a 15-minute delay, but guess what? It is getting crazy over here, man. Y'all should all come over here.
So what are
Stuff
all
like
the
that.
UFO people going to do when they realize that like all this information comes out about UFOs and it becomes a
Mold, man.
normalized thing, and like they got nothing to do anymore. Like you know what I mean? They got to switch to ghosts or something. Man, I don't
Oh
know what they're going to
look,
do.
hold on, Jay. We're not on the phone. Hold on, I gotta send you this. Hold on a second. Jason's gonna come join us. Hold on a second.
Uh,
It's
come
look,
on
I'll
down,
put it in here. I don't think nobody's in here but us. So.
come on down.
Yeah, there you go. Oh shit! I just published it. Every page we got. Oh my god, we might get invaded. Good thing I have admin controls.
I'm ready to go right now, man.
Well, and hey, it's not going to be. Somebody said, well, in the old days, you would have been all men. So, but now it's not going to be. It's going to be 50-50.
No, I'm not ready to go. I want to go to Mars, man. Mars is like the last place I want to go. I
Oh
want to
my
go out
god!
further. I want to go way out, man.
That ain't
Way
happening.
out.
That's not happening in our lifetime. The farthest we'll probably see in our lifetime is the asteroid belt, and that's be like when we're like 80 and shit. I mean, it happens fast and lots going on, but we really want to get into deep space, and that's where we want to be.
I want to see this first Sasquatch sighting on Mars, man. It's going to be very interesting.
I'm just not going in. We ain't talking about no Sasquatch on Mars. If anybody's got a picture of Sasquatch on Mars, I just want to see it for shits and giggles. But still, it's kind of a strange theme.
I'm taking over part of Mars, man. I saw how you can buy a chunk.
Well, you're not to buy it. What do you mean? It's like the old days with the West. You can just stake it out. Nobody owns
I'm going to
Mars
buy a
right
chunk
now.
and lay my claim and call it Staten Island.
No, so yeah, you can do that. But remember this: it's whatever you can fence. You belongs to you. That's how it always works.
I'm going to call it Staten Island. The main drag is going to be Stephanie Way.
Oh my God, Stephanie, baby, it's Michael. I'm being nice. You're gonna go haunt somebody now. You go haunt his ass. And ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about Stephanie Minette, who used to co-host with me on News on the Flip Side. She passed earlier this year, and we all miss her. But she was, how can I say this politely, a firecracker from hell. That's as polite as I can put it.
We call them ditch witches, man. You know what a ditch witch is?
Well, I don't want to sell her memory down because she could be hot when she wanted to be. I mean, fiery hot. Sorry, guys. Came out wrong. Oh wait, hold on.
I got this Amish guy really mad at me the other day, man. I didn't think that was possible. I thought they were supposed to be all docile.
No, I didn't hear they all docile. That ain't what I heard. I hear if you screw around with your shit, they like the ones up there in Utah. They'll kick your ass, man.
I don't know about that, but I got them all
They'll
upset.
bust you
So I kept saying that I was going to be Amish but use electricity, like I'll be the electric Amish, and he was like, "No, that's not the way it's done." I'm like, "That's the way I would do it."
Oh well, it's like you know what? You want to see a sin? Sell an Amish man a generator. I'm sorry, it was bad on my part. Hold on, I'm gonna put this link on in a second. Wait, I thought I heard Jason pop in. Yeah, there he is.
There's a
What's
lot
up, you ugly bastard?
Here,
hey, what's going on, old man?
No, we just chit chat. We would just chit chat.
Oh man,
about
I got
the
this
news.
thing at $20 at Goodwill, man. It's perfect. I love this thing.
Have you checked to the side for a body?
Yeah, I've checked this side, man.
His dogs checked that for him, man. You gotta worry
if I was going to get rid of one, that's what I would do. Put it in a chair and sell it to Goodwill.
Oh man, I chemically cleansed the entire thing just in case when I brought it home.
Don't you remember that case a long time ago where they started finding all these bodies in mattresses at motels? Like I don't know, crazy stuff, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff out there.
Hey, so what were you guys talking about?
Actually, I was getting ready to play this link in a minute about Biden talking about democracies in peril. The first time I heard him say this was a couple of days ago, or actually about a week ago, when he said, "Well, I've been talking with the world leaders, and we're thinking that democracy may be on its way out." And I'm thinking, really?
Who does he think the world leaders are?
Well, I'm not sure. He might be talking to the ghost in the effing White House.
Nancy Pelosi and that other prick.
No, he's well, I'm assuming he's talking about our allies in Europe. In your case, you might be right. So,
what exactly does he mean by democracy? Does he mean like a way of government? Does he mean the United States of America's particular government? Is he talking about capitalism? I mean, what the hell is he talking about when he says that?
I said this. First time I heard this, I said, you're a president of the United States, which is not a democracy. It's a republic. I said, so a good democracy can go away because technically the United States is a republic. I'm like, no, people. It bothers me when my own president don't know what kind of system we have. It just worries. I can understand the people being ignorant, but I can't understand the president being ignorant. Even the blonde boy knew what kind of government we had. And wait, somebody's going, oh, good, Republicans going to take over in 2026. Yeah, okay, that's fine. We'll just get a bunch of stuff freaked out. I said, but I'm more worried about 2024. So unless a miracle happens, Biden is not going to be the next president. So, guys, what do y'all think? Who is it going to be? It's going to probably be a Republican. Is crazy Trump going to really run again, and can he really win?
It depends on what happens, man. Trump will split.
He'll split
Trump's
the party.
Too divisive to do it, dude. We already. Let's face it. I mean, there are people that will vote for him just to stick it to the libs, but the rest of the country knows he's an asshole. I mean, that's basically what we have a choice in between is incompetence or an asshole. that
Or
is also
DeSantis.
incompetent. I
Yeah,
mean,
well, see,
people
that's what
aren't
I'm worried.
invested anymore.
If he runs against Biden, I think he's going to win.
That's
I
what
think
the polls are saying. I mean, Biden's been the most milquetoast president I've ever seen. I mean, this
yeah,
has
he
to be
makes
like Jimmy Carter levels of suck.
actually he makes me think Jimmy Carter looks good. Actually, at least Jimmy Carter had Billy Beer behind him with his brother. There was some
Don't
entertainment
knock
going
Billy
on.
Beer, man.
I'm
I
just
mean,
saying
you've
there was
got
some
a vice
entertainment.
president that's got a lower approval
Oh my
rating than
god!
fucking Dan Quayle. I
I
mean,
know. How do you get that? I mean, but you never see it. You know, for a while, everybody was criticizing because she was always right there behind Joe Biden, and we were like, well, "Dude, you're vice P. You're not. We're not. Y'all ain't supposed to be together. You're supposed to be somewhere else in case this dude gets killed or something." I was like, "What the hell is going on?" And then it's like,
well, look what they're using her for, man. I mean, did y'all see that video where she was sitting down with a bunch of school children and talking about how cool it was to send normal people like y'all into space? But it turns out it was shot on a set and all the kids were child actors and
oh my
she was
god.
like the worst actress of them all. It was I
You know,
mean,
it bothers me that the liberals did not learn anything from Trump taking over. I mean, he had the House and the Senate. He didn't lose that until later. I mean, you would have thought they would have learned something from this, and they learned absolutely shit. Um,
No, they did. Because these are establishment politicians and they were scared to death at the non-establishment taking over. And whether it was the Democrats or even the Republicans that stood against Trump, he accomplished a lot of goals. Yeah, he's a very abrasive person, obviously, but what they were afraid it wasn't him. It was what he represented.
I'm gonna tell you when I thought the world might have come to end. So I'm watching Angela Merkel as she's doing her speech, or she's leaving, right? And they're talking to her, and they asked her about Biden versus Trump. She said, I really don't want to say this, but she said, I think I misjudged Trump. I think he's a far better president than Joe Biden's going to turn out to be. I was getting stunned. I like to fell because she hated Trump. I mean, she hated Trump. Or Trump. They hated each other as a mutual. I hate you. But I was just stunned. And then to hear Xi Jinping and Putin say, "Yeah, we were scared of Trump. We're not scared of Biden." And to hear Putin even admit that he was scared of anybody is a big deal. You know, because that was a question. How did you feel when Trump? He said, "I felt if we misstepped with Trump, there may be a war." He said, "With Biden, I don't even think he would even wake up to notice." He
You
didn't
know
say it
who's
quite
not
like that,
scared?
but
That little Kim Jong
close
Un
to it.
man. He's starting to shoot off his missiles
Oh,
again. He
yeah,
doesn't care.
because Biden ain't gonna do nothing.
Nope.
Trump might have shoved a missile up his, you know what, but Biden ain't gonna do anything. But then I don't know. Biden may freak out. I mean, he did kill a bunch of people. Week before last, blew up a bunch of women and
Yeah,
kids
our own
and
people.
people. Well, but it doesn't
That's
matter. He's
easy.
killing people, man. That's what presidents do. Marcus, no, dude. No, presidents are not supposed to kill
well, I'll play
people.
the devil's advocate. I'll at least give him credit to owning up for that. And God knows how
Yeah, he
many
did.
times that kind of shit has happened since the war on terror has been a thing.
Mm. Well, Obama 10,000 times that we found that he originally said there was only 5,000 sorties, but they turn out to be 10,000 of the drone sorties. Killed a lot of women and children, but Obama still, but he did own it up. Trump owned up when he effed up too. I was surprised. He said, "Oh well, we didn't mean to do it quite like that." Or what did he do when he popped up the submarine and shot off the 40 missiles? I'm like, well, Trump, you just told them the submarines only hold 40 missiles. That's kind of screwed up, dude. What the hell's going on here? It was I think it was 140 anyway, but still, it was just funny to me. Now I tell you what I did. I've seen two presidents do this, and I do say that this makes any other president nervous. Ronald Reagan was the first president I remember doing this. Um, for some reason, I guess they were having trouble with China over something. He had three nuclear submarines, actually four nuclear submarines, pop off the coast in four different areas without anybody knowing. They were just sitting there. They had sat there for almost 8 hours above the surface. They didn't even see them. They could have easily took everything out in China. So Trump did the same thing, but Trump did two things that was crazy. He sent three subs to pop up. They weren't carrying nuclear weapons. They were just cruise missile subs. But he did the same thing to prove a point. But he sailed a freaking destroyer into the middle of the Chinese fleet before they even knew it was there. I mean, the damn thing was in the middle of the fleet when they realized it was sitting there. They could have sunk half the damn fleet before they even knew it. That's balls the size of the White House, man. I mean, that's just insanity. And he proved a point, though. He said, yeah, y'all said our Navy's not what? Excuse me? And then you didn't even know we were here. You thought we were part of your stupid fleet. That cracked me up. China, that was such an embarrassment for China. It's like when they flew their stealth plane and it lit up everybody's radar. Everybody's like, yeah, "You're not really stealth." Or the other one they built that had the big plumes of black smoke behind them. I'm like, in their latest boats that they said were stealth that everybody can see. China's got bad luck with that kind of stuff. You shouldn't rush it. But one day, if America slips, China will be the power. We're the only counterpoint on the planet right now that can counterbalance them. So,
Yeah,
and
we could fight. We don't have to get into a direct war with China. We could fight a proxy war with them. I mean, that would
oh
be
yeah,
really
we could
easy.
do just like we did with Russia. We could bankrupt them. Trump was going to go that direction because he did damage the economy pretty good. But I don't know. There should be a way that the United States and China can exist peacefully, coexist, make a lot of money, and not blow the damn planet up.
Well, here's the thing, though. Nobody in China's sphere of influence likes China's, imperialistic tendencies and
That's
threats
true.
that they're making.
That's
I
true.
mean, look, can you, all right, let's see, who would they have to fight? They would have to fight Japan. They would have to fight Singapore, possibly have to fight Korea. They would have to fight the Philippines. They would have to fight Indonesia. I mean,
And
we could,
half of them have protection packs with the United States, so that drags us
yeah.
in. And of course, we got protection packs with Europe, so that drags them in. It's a nasty little scene that goes on when all that happens. Because somebody asked, oh, that's what it was. I forgot all about this. So about 4 years ago, an admiral from China, I'm not from China, from Russia, defected and went to live in the UK. And he kept telling when Trump was president, he said, "Y'all don't understand. This guy's got a much better grasp of what's going on in the world than y'all think he does. And if he wants to take y'all out, he can." And he said, "I'm telling you this, Mr. Putin, and I'm telling you this, Mr. Ping. Don't make the mistake that the Japanese emperor is. Leave the giant sleep." He said, "Y'all think you bad." He said, "You really, really think you bad, just like Japan and Germany knew they were bad." He said, "Leave the sleeping giant sleep." He said, "You make that mistake and you're going to regret it. Even if America don't win, they will make sure that they take all y'all down with them." So, and he had a point. He said, "So it's just," he said, just leave it alone. Do your thing. Let them do their thing." And what are they? What, 5 communist countries? Well, Russia's not even communist. It's supposedly a democracy. Well, they're a Putin democracy, whatever the hell that is. But still, I mean, so what is there? There's Venezuela, Cuba, and China, right? Or who am I missing? I got to be missing somebody. Some third world country somewhere that's got to be
Peru.
communist, But regardless, I mean, so today when I seen the coalition today, it was China, Russia, Pakistan, and Iran. That was their coalition. North Korea
Peru.
wasn't even in it.
Don't forget about Peru, man.
Maybe you hating on Peru for? Leave Peru alone.
Because that's the red sandwich, man, was Cuba and Peru. That
Leave
was
Peru alone.
Nixon's red sandwich.
Peru's part of us now, man. They're like a state. Leave them alone.
Communist state.
So somebody the other day said something about, I don't know why America thinks this, that. I said, America is just one of the Americas. He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "All y'all are Americans." I said, "From South America to top of North America." I said, "If we live on the American continents, South America, Central America, North America, we're all Americans." I said, "We just call ourselves the United States of America because we're part of the American continent." That's why it says "of." And somebody was like, "Oh, that's true, huh?" Yeah, I said it is. And I love when people tell me that Mexico's in Central America. They're always like, "Oh, no, Joe, it's in Central America." I said, "No, it's North America." No, it's Central America. "Oh, no, it's South. No, it's not. It's North America. It's Canada, United States, Mexico." They're like our tail. Wait, Mexican. I love y'all in Mexico, so don't take this the wrong way, but you like America's tail that's wagging all the time down there. How many people they got in Mexico City now? 22, 24 million? Man, if you guys down there, if you could find one thing to go viral in your city, you could probably retire up that one thing.
Mexico is actually a really beautiful place, man.
Oh, yes.
It's got a bad rep in some of its cities, but
Well,
it doesn't.
because some of its cities deserve a bad rep. Let's be honest. Last time I was in Cancun, you couldn't go outside on the beach after midnight.
Well, because they found a few heads laying around. What's a couple of heads? Listen, you save a lot of money, man.
And see, I've been wanting to go down there with Linda. I'd like to go see the ruins and all down there, but they're like, "Oh, well, you're American. You
As long
shouldn't
as
go
you
down
like
there."
heads, you like Halloween. That's kind of like Halloween. Nothing wrong with a few heads.
Josh, Germany's an interesting country. They started 2 world wars, so
There's heads there too.
yeah, there's a lot of heads there laying around. But they're I don't know if they can rearm. I don't.
Germany?
I don't think they're allowed to fully rearm. I know I know we canceled whatever the treaty was, the Versailles Treaty, not the Versailles Treaty, what the hell ever it was called. I know we did the same thing with Japan, but still, the world still says no. You can only arm so much. It's just a weird thing because nobody trusts either one of these countries because they started wars.
Germany's
big
got a
wars.
military comparable to just about any of the other major countries in the EU. I mean, it's basically designed to split the military load to have.
Because I mean,
why don't you want to trust Germany?
Britain's got a military.
What have we done to cause your suspicion?
Yeah, why would you cause? Oh man, screw that. It's
Come on, I grew up watching Hogan's Heroes, man. Sticking it to the Nazis, funny style, just like that.
But it's a different world.
Germany's someone you want on your side. They are really good at making things to kill people with.
They have a million Arabs.
The EU has a million Arabs. They got that. That's Merkel. That's what cost Merkel in the end. It cost her. Let them in. The ones that got
you want to hear something crazy, man?
Countries, they're the ones that hurt the worst from it.
You want to hear something interesting? A lot of Jews are leaving Israel and they're going to Hamburg. They're populating Hamburg, Germany again because of the prices are so low. They can get it's actually over this chocolate pudding. It's very interesting how in Israel they charge this unbelievable amount of money for this popular chocolate pudding that comes from Hamburg, Germany. So people are actually fucking moving there for the pudding, man. I love that because I love chocolate pudding.
Oh, they must be Cosby fans then, huh? Cosby and his pudding. Hold on, let me click this link. I forgot what I was going to play here now.
Cosby's chocolate pudding. Yeah, while people are asleep.
All right, hold on. Is this thing up with us?
What's chocolate pudding?
I think we'll be able to hear it now.
I'm all right,
man. If we can hear it.
Hey.
Oh wait, yeah, you can
Finally,
hear it.
Tonight, the reason we mark this holiday, honoring our heroes, and this year coming together.
Come on, I only want to hear the part where he says about the democracy.
Across the country tonight, Americans pausing to honor those who gave it all.
I love you people, and I was in the service. I love all
the flag
y'all.
unfurled. Veterans together again after a painful year. Paying tribute to former crew members lost.
Man, I don't know how you dress up in full blues and wear them damn masks.
I can't even get up early in the morning, let alone do something like that.
260,000 headstones.
That was one of the sucky parts of the service. Man, Reveille was 4:30 in the morning.
That's probably why we're not there.
Reserved for those who died in America's most recent
You'd hear that horn go off on the PA system. You're like, who wanted to attack you? It's crazy, man. Especially the first couple of weeks.
Youngest, Bo.
I was kind of constantly getting pulled into various different shenanigans of variety, mostly instigated by Jeremy.
After 9/11, all three brothers enlisting. Bo, a Marine. Ben, a Green Beret. Jeremy, a Navy SEAL, and later a CIA contractor. All serving multiple tours in Afghanistan, but only Bo would come back.
When does the porn start?
A period of what now? I just went numb.
Jeremy's CIA service now commemorated with a star on the CIA memorial wall. Bo seeing that star for the
Don't
first
use his
time
first
this
name. I
week.
told you, it's like slapping.
After a year of so much loss and distance, the nation coming together in
Oh,
person
come
again
on.
to mark this moment and remember.
What's the point of playing this, man?
Actually, no. I know.
That was a great commercial for America.
Yeah, well, we all love America, but that's not what it's supposed to be. They got Joe talking about how democracy's in peril, and you can see that's what the thing says on. Oh no, you can't actually see it, can you? But
is that what his Ouija board told him?
He swears that the European leaders are talking to him about this. I just got fundamental issues with that. I can't see. Maybe it's this one. Hold on. Look. I've been in this country for a long time. I don't really feel that democracy or whatever a lot longer than I want to get to anymore. I'm counting backwards.
My entire lifetime, democracy has been in peril. I mean, that's what I say. The biggest military in the fucking universe for.
That's right, and we're gonna keep it. And we like
democracy is always in peril. I mean,
if and I tried to tell this people.
Presidents have been using that excuse since at least Vietnam.
I know, but
I mean, if we don't get there first, communism will take over. Democracy's in peril.
Yeah. So
I mean, look at all the fucking. Look at all those little third world dictators we propped up in South America and all over the world. We did that in the name of democracy.
You're talking about the gimmick for the show, but the real deal is sales. It's all about buying and selling. And the WTO is what the deal is, and the IMF is what the deal is. And no doubt that Barack Obama was moving us towards that globalization. because of WTO and all that. Think of the relationship and how big the WTO is and how much
We love Obama.
Now of course Mumbly Joe is going to want to go along with the program, but he's not in charge. He's never in charge. He's you know what he is. He's an old ass puppet.
Well, I don't think he's much puppet as you think he is, man. I'm telling you.
No, man, he's got no power.
I think he's got more power than everybody thinks.
For how many years? Who's been in
but
charge?
wait.
Mitch McConnell
and
that cretin, man.
One thing I can say about the last three presidents is they had more control than you think they do. Obama definitely had some. Trump had all of it because he wasn't letting go of it.
You mean they had power to screw things up?
Nah, the president's like the hood ornament on a car. It just signifies a brand. The machinery is going to do what the machinery does, no matter whose brand is on the hood.
No. Trump showed you could throw a cog into that shit. And even Biden showing now you can.
Trump was a media sideshow. The gears of the machine still kept turning.
Yeah,
Trump was there for Trump.
It lost some of its weight. While he was in there. It's getting it back now, but it lost some of its weight while he was in there.
But it's Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell. They've been running the country.
I mean, let's be honest. The last time we seen a 3.8 GDP, Reagan was in office. So Trump did a lot more than people want to give him credit for. Obama's highest was a 1.8. As average, was like 1.4. I mean,
it's all about how people are living, man.
But that's the point. If your GDP is only 1.4, you ain't living. If it's 3.8, at least you're moving upward and mobile. It's just we're in a sad shape.
It's like when the stock market's doing terrible, people are doing all right because most people don't own stocks, and that America's got, it's got a lot of issues, man, but we don't ever help anybody out of poverty or, we keep the foot on the head and just above the waterline so we can make them drown if we want to and keep them under control. Have people so paranoid, oh my God, if I lose my job, what am I going to do? I mean, that's
what that pastor, that black pastor today was talking about critical race theory. That's what he's saying. He said all white people are inherently evil and all black people are inherently lazy.
Well, whatever. It's about controlling people through debt is really what it is.
No, because not America don't have debt.
Are you kidding me?
A lot of people are getting
every dollar born has debt attached to it.
Oh no, like there's a whole at least third of our population that don't have debt. At least a third. It's just one of those things. The only thing I have debt is my house, and I can pay it off if I wanted to. So it's not.
This government can take anything it wants from you at any time.
They tried that, and you just got slapped back. That's not true. You just seen them get slapped back. They said, "Oh, we're going to get in your taxes now. We're going to get in everybody's bank accounts." First thing I thought, everybody I knew ass clenched when they said, "If any spenders over $600, we're going to get in your bank account." I mean, everybody I know was like, "Oh my God!" And sure enough, the people got pissed, and they were going to get kicked out. And they're like, "Oh no, we're not. We're going to take it out of the bill now. We're going to take it out of the bill now."
Well, you're starting to see a lot of people just say, "I quit," and not even want to play in the rat race anymore. I mean, say you're a 20-something-year-old, you're getting on your feet, you plan on owning a home one day. A couple of years ago, you were looking at a house that cost $230,000 or so.
Jesus.
The way the market and inflation has happened, that same house now is like $390,000. You're not making any more money. I mean, you're never going to be able to achieve your dream. I mean, if it becomes so far out of touch that, these crappy jobs that a lot of people are just saying to hell with it and walking away.
You make a great point because, when I had my home, when my mom passed away and we inherited the house, I had an appraisal done on it. Now, before Katrina, it was worth $550. After Katrina, it was worth about $370. So Steph said, "Where are you going to put it up for?" I said, I'm going to add $200,000. I said, put it up. I threw it on the market, getting things sold in 3 days. Now, great, it's an old area, it's a great neighborhood now, but 3 days for 200 over market, that's crazy. And somebody said they offered to buy this house up here on the coast for about $200,000 more than it's worth. I said I'd love to sell it, but guys, where am I going to live in a condo for the next? No, you're screwed. You can get rid of your property, but if you go to buy more property, you're paying like everybody else is. You can't.
Well, yeah,
it's damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Well, imagine if you're that same 20-something-year-old person and you've got enough money that you can consider financing a house and owning, a piece of land. That's the American dream, right? What are you supposed to do when you come with a modest offer to a property, maybe even full market value, and you've got some anonymous holding company offering like ridiculous over market cash offers?
And what do you do? I mean, that's the whole point.
They control you
why
through debt.
why should you grind and
Like I
struggle
said.
every single day just so you can end up with a taste of dirt in your mouth?
They control you through debt.
Yeah.
You know? And
Well,
you got to jump through the hoops to keep that debt rolling, man. Otherwise, they'll take it from you. And, people lose they lose everything from that.
But see, this is a different world now because let's look at it from this point of view. So
Where?
25, but I'm gonna go through it. 25% of the teachers retired last year. Same thing with first responders. 25%, a good chunk of the military. A bunch of America retired. So you're looking at, we're already job shortage, and a bunch of people just got out of it. And then a bunch of people got smart and started making money on the internet. So there's a big shift in the way we make money in our country now, and a lot of jobs on the internet pay big money. So they like let's see, the guy who wrote World of Warcraft, he's coming to New Orleans. He's setting up a shop down here with the other 5 gaming companies that are already here, and he's offering $100,000 to $200,000 to start. And you can do this from home. So it's a different world now. People are making more money. They're doing it a different way. Even McDonald's now has to pay $15, $18 an hour to get. To put it in perspective. So we're crewing up because we got 2 big jobs we're running right now because of IDA. So normally we would bring on labor between $12,000 and $15,000. No way, bud. You can't even get the illegals to work for that. They want 20 to 25 just to be a laborer. Skill's looking at 35 to 40. So now when we're doing bids, they're so outrageous because of labor, because I still have to make a profit in all of this. It's crazy. And now one of our subs.
If you are working, breaking your back to make $12 to $15 an hour, and that can't even pay you and your buddy can't even split rent and barely come out even. Why wouldn't you just drop out?
But that's not how it is down here. You can make $15 an hour and have your own apartment, your own place. And for 20, you're living pretty good down here because the economy is different. But you're not going to live uptown, and you're not going to live out in Lakeview, but you can live in a safe neighborhood without worrying about crime or anything and enjoy the city. So there is that option, but people don't want that anymore. And I don't really blame them. I've worked all my life, so I know what it's like. I don't really blame them for finding ways on the internet. I'm finding ways on the internet myself to make money, so I'm not hating.
Yeah, but that's kind of a false hope, though. How long have you been working out this? And
a long time.
Rich off
but
of this
but
shit,
wait. But let's be honest, people. Before we go any further,
that's like one of the misconceptions out there. You can just quit and
Oh no, you can't just quit. You got to have a gimmick or something.
But not everybody can do it.
But I only started trying to make real money at this about 3 years ago, and it's been going pretty good, but nowhere near that's going to replace the income I got from the construction company. It's just not going to do it. Now it will. Give it another 2 years, yeah. With what we get for because we get so many different media companies paying us a little here, 500 here, 200 here, 300 here, whatever. And SoundCloud pays pretty good, but still, I've been. I've been only looking to try to make money for 3 years, but the presence of the station is almost 22 years old. So yeah, we're all over the place because we've been here for so freaking long. We started when there was only a handful of archive servers and outbound servers, and as they grew, we grew. So we were always first in the front on the 4 line, so it made us easier to be found. And I do appreciate that. And it's helped the station get in some big numbers in some places. Podbean does really well. Podcast Garden's doing several million. SoundCloud's doing several million. So I'm real happy. But so anybody don't get false aspirations. When this station started, I think I had 500 listeners, or if that. But we had a great chat room. I will say that we had a really good chat room, but about 500 listeners. And then I did maybe more because we were doing Wake Up USA for a while. And they did okay. And then as we grew around the world, I got picked up. That's what I'm saying. And then as we grew, we grew. And it was weird for us because we kind of grew outside the country first, and then grew back towards the country. Because I guess, we got lucky. Like when I took over Pioneer Radio, they were already in Hong Kong. So when Hong Kong got picked up by China, they let us come in. That was sheer luck. That wasn't planned. I couldn't have planned that if I tried, man. That was just one of them things that, oh God, look, we're going to give you a gift. And the station does well in China. It does well everywhere now. I said, shit, we got, come on, guys. We got 5 listeners in North Korea. I am dying. Wait, it gets me. We got some in Venezuela like that. I'm thinking, if you're listening to this in North Korea, who the hell are you?
That's Kim Jong-un, man. That's why he's laughing.
Well, Kim, I love you, baby. You slap you in the ass.
Rocket
really,
Man.
It's got to be somebody who's access to a cell phone in a tower, and they have to be pretty far up if nobody's watching them. So that just cracks me up. There's a few other countries in the world I wonder about how we get, but like Pakistan, we got a big audience in Pakistan. Iran, over 46,000 regular listeners in Iran. So I don't know.
And
What
that
gets
grew
me
from
is how many countries
2,500. That grew and grew and
it
grew.
grew and grew and grew and grew. And you know as well as I do, these have to be upper class people because that's the only one's going to have the phones or the places to listen to tap the internet.
Well,
So
I'd say don't bank on having a bunch of people from Hong Kong anymore, because I mean, China's really trying to
we do good in Beijing. We
China's
got
really trying to
people in Wuhan.
make Hong Kong not exist anymore.
They'd like to, yeah. But you know, it's funny, and I still got that packet of photos. You know, we have people in Wuhan. It's one of our listening ports, just like Beijing is. They allow us in. And Hong Kong, we'll be in Hong Kong whether they survive or not. But well, they'll be a different country. But we're in a communist part of China now, so we're not in any trouble with them. The only thing I was there when I did the original interview, the only thing I was asked was not to speak about the communist government or the leader and leave it out. We could talk about anything else we wanted. And I was like, fine, I don't get no problem with that.
Yeah, but if I keep coming on here and talking about Winnie the Pooh, you're not going to be in China anymore.
They're weird over there, man. But they
you just got flagged.
No, you know what it is now, because I got the distinct feeling that they wanted something like us there because it's like plausible deniability for them. Well, that's some stupid ass Americans. What do you expect? This is to show Americans, show their citizens. See, Americans are all crazy.
Don't forget about the Canadians, man.
Stuff.
We got our little peppered up of Canadian. Not tonight,
but it's interesting to me to see. We do get a lot of response from China, so it's not like they're holding them back or anything over there. And so far, it's been an interesting journey, and how long we keep it. Where it's interesting to see is India. India is becoming a big market. So this is what's going on right now. The United States is number one right now, but either China or India is going to take that slot sometime this year. And not shortly after that, the other one's going to take the other slot, and then Russia, then the United States. So you're going to have those four countries in that order.
So Chinese middle class is already bigger than our middle class.
Oh, I know that.
They're just looking to spend money too.
Yeah. So, and we're getting picked over at night, so it's nice. And so I was
yeah,
talking
but then again, you wonder if China's like about to have some kind of big old bubble pop, because it's
that's already kind of
saying like the big picture is not looking too great over there.
It's not. Well, it's already kind of popped. Well, the U.S. has pretty much cut up most of their imports off, and the UE got all nervous.
You don't import anything to China anyway, unless you build it in China. You can't play in China.
Yeah. So it's no, I meant them importing to us. And so we've been steadily cutting that down. The EU's been doing the same thing. The EU got all paranoid after the Wuhan virus and started cutting stuff back. Oh, I will tell you, people, it is interesting that our federal government and the WHO actually decided to say, oh, well, you know what? We have not actually ruled out that it could be from a lab. They said it could still be natural, but we haven't ruled out that it could be from a lab.
My problem is that Pete Townsend knows nothing about viruses.
Well, you leave Pete out of this. Why you always got to hate on poor Pete?
Roger Daltrey. If you're going to consult anyone, you want Led Zeppelin.
I wish the WHO would put one of their pictures up there for the organization. But
now there's actually kind of a crisis happening in certain circles of science right now, because I don't know, a lot of this Rona shit is all in flux and everything, and the science isn't exactly clear, but you have basically science being politicized by it. I mean,
yeah, you do.
That's what it has come to, and it's like once something becomes politically in bad taste, if you even mention it, you're immediately ostracized by the media, other scientists, everybody else. I mean, you're the integrity of science right now because of all this political crap. And politics ruins everything. Yeah, I'll say another thing about politics too, since we were talking about China, is if the government doesn't quit trying to be a regulatory nanny and let SpaceX and other private industry do what they need to do, they're going to get surpassed by China. China's doing some amazing stuff in space right now. And our private industry might have a lead right now, but
they're going to stay ahead. And I'll tell you
if we put a yoke around their neck.
Well, no, I agree with that. If we put a yoke around their neck, they won't. So, but what's going on is, so China had 26 launches last year. That's private industry launched about 10 more than that. And NASA launched almost that many. So we actually doubled their launches last year. We'll actually go further this year. But you're right. If for some reason
SpaceX put up the majority of tonnage into space last year, but
no, I agree.
China launched as many rockets. It's just the Long March series can't carry as much payload as a Falcon 9 can.
Yeah, but SpaceX is, Elon loves himself. He's going for it. And we got, so what do we got? 4 of them, right? No, we still got Sierra Nevada, but I haven't heard nothing from them in a while. So I know they were developing that shuttle, and then NASA said no. Then NASA said, let's throw you a bone. So I don't exactly know what's going on with
Yeah,
them.
Sierra Nevada is kind of looking into like modular inflatable space stations and stuff right now too.
That sounds interesting.
Well, since it seems like, since the ISS is on limited time, and I kind of wonder if
It's a lot
Russia's
of
not
limited time.
trying on purpose to break the damn thing early just so they can get out of it.
It might be. Well, at least they don't have to bring us to space no more.
To it without thrusters going mad.
I was so embarrassed as an American. We had to get space flights from Russia to go to our own space station. That's like asking your mom to take your date to the prom, man. I'm like, no, man, no, we can't do that.
Well, the worm has kind of turned because now Russia's about to start buying tickets for cosmonauts to ride up to the ISS on SpaceX.
Yeah, I did hear. I caught a piece. I got a link to Pravda. I get their news, and I caught one that they're talking about semi-retiring their space program, so they have money to spend elsewhere. Because right now there's a lot of sanctions on Russia too. So Russia would be booming its ass off if America and Europeans would take the sanctions off. So would China, but we're not going to anytime soon. Trump had the right idea. We can't let him get that far ahead. We can't let him spend that kind of money right now until the rest of us, the Europeans and the Americans, are at a certain point. Because I think the Americans and Europeans control 40 trillion of the 70 trillion, something along those lines. So it puts them in a good driver's seat, but you got to maintain that. So it's kind of dirty pool, but it does work, unfortunately. We got a lot going on, though. We'll be to Mars in our lifetimes easily. Elon's planning to be there in the next 5 to 10 years, and he's pushing it. So he's already got an idea in his head. He's just not talking about it yet. Maybe when he gets high on one of these shows one night, he'll let loose and let us know. I like Elon. I like Bison. But what's the other one?
We are going to get past into space. SpaceX owns space right now, but China is basically their only competitor right now. And I mean, come on, when you got an entire state throwing basically unlimited funds into crazy, wacky ideas, some of them are going to stick.
Well, some of them are going to stick, but the problem is you got 5 billionaires that know how to do it, because China's got the same problem America's got: corruption. So half that money is never going to make it there. Same problem we have. But see, in corporations, that shit don't happen. People go to jail and get fired for that kind of crap. So I really think I've always said this: private industry is the only way we're going to get to Mars and into deep space.
I don't know. China's got working ion thrusters on their space station and hypersonic missiles that they're just pulling out of the middle of nowhere. Don't underestimate them.
But their hypersonic missiles, that's just more smoke and mirrors, just like their stealth planes and their stealth things. I've seen their hypersonic. That's bullshit. Russia's the only one really has a hypersonic missile. So China says it, but it hasn't been tested. Nobody's seen it. And every time they say they got a new piece of technology, it turns out not to be what they told us. China is notorious for saying one thing and doing another thing, and everything from even their way they manufacture stuff. That's another thing that hurt China. When you put out the facts, we're sending out food that kills your dogs, baby formula that makes your baby sick. Yeah, people are going to stop buying shit from you. And China's nothing without their economy, and everybody needs to realize that. And right now, they don't have an economy. All they got is their little allies like Russia. And Russia ain't got no money because America cut their asses off. And neither does Iran or Pakistan.
Yeah, that's a misconception. Russia's got the European Union by the natural gas. They're never going to be exactly broke, and they're actually making quite a bit of money on it right now.
Well, since Angela Merkel's leaving, I thought the Germans said they were going to cut off dealing with Russia, and that's their only really big buyer there. So I know none of the former republics will have anything to do with Russia. They'd rather freeze to death than deal with them bastards. So it's a weird situation over there, and to me, when I look at the EU, that's how I look at it, like 4 pieces or 3 pieces, actually. You got the Scandinavian countries up here. You got the former Soviet bloc countries over here. And you've got, the first world Europeans like, France, England. Well, England's not even in anymore. England gave them a bird and said, I'm out of here. Y'all screw them up. Dragging my money down. We're out of here, buddy.
I know Poland might be getting out, too. There's a lot of talk about that.
Because Poland wants to become a, what? Oh, hell. What do you call it? A NATO member. Yeah. And then look, they're still talking about making the Ukraine a NATO member. I don't know how you do that without really, 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 really pissing the Russians off.
Oh, Taiwan.
Taiwan is an interesting thing. So if China takes Taiwan, they're cut off from the rest of the world. The rest of the world will have nothing to do with them. So now they're bankrupt and their people are starving, and they got Taiwan, but they can't feed themselves. because Russia's great, but Russia's not going to feed China. And then if Russia has to worry that China might invade Russia for the territory. So, there's a whole little scenario up there that people aren't even thinking about. And remember, Japan conquered China by what? Cutting off their food and starving them until they would trade in their rifles for rice. So it's not, and China's in the same position. They can't feed their population, 1,400,000,000. That they can't even produce enough food to feed 200 or 300 million of them. They're screwed. There'll be mass chaos in
We
that
give
country.
them a ton of food. We give them grain.
Russia
We give
can
them
easily
soy.
feed China. Do you know how big Russia is? It's mostly like the
It is,
middle
but
part
their
of
grow
America.
season, but their grow season
Times
is
10.
much shorter.
Yeah, Russia doesn't have food either.
But
They get a
Russia,
lot of our
Jason's right
grain.
though.
We
Russia's
give
got
grain to the world, man, and soy. Corn, grain, soy is what
Well, we
America
do.
gives
We
to the
give.
world.
Well, it used to be we gave China 55% of grain. I think it's 40% now. But see, Russia, their heartland of Russia, the west or the east, whatever it is up there, that's all tundra. That's ice. You can't grow shit up there. And the other side's all ports and cities. You can't grow shit over there. But the middle, if you cut all the timber down, you could do just like in Brazil, make that a farmland and start feeding. But you're
It's
gonna
all
have a short growth
radioactive,
season.
man.
Nah, it's not radioactive, but you're gonna have
Got
like a
got
third
that
growth season
Chernobyl.
though.
Nah,
It's-
Russia's so big. That's just a tiny little blip on that
And
map.
Chernobyl's in the Ukraine anyway, isn't it? It's not
Yeah.
in Russia. It's in the Ukraine.
Okay.
So, but the problem with Russia's growth season is going to be 1/3 of America's, so they can feed themselves and maybe help China a little bit, but it's not going to be enough, and it's not going to happen fast enough. It'll take a couple of years for all that to cycle out and happen. By the end, half of China then starve to death. The Europeans, if they cut them off and we cut them off, they're starving. There's no hope for them.
You drive
Yeah.
across America, you know what you see? Pure and simple agriculture everywhere. You might have a few areas like the Badlands of Wyoming or whatever where you don't have a lot of stuff, but there's still farmland.
So here's a weird stat for you, Michael. So after World War II, the United States was 94% self-sufficient. Today, America is 81% self. It had actually gone up from 77.
Because of politicians.
Well, when Trump took over, it actually went up 4 points. Actually went up 5 points. When Biden took over, it went down 1 point. So right now it's 81% we're self-sufficient. So we can feed ourselves. That's not going to be the issue. And most of our type, but you see lithium, we ain't got access to lithium. We got to get that either from Brazil. And well, we gave Pakistan back. I mean, not Pakistan. We gave Afghanistan back. They had a lot of lithium there. So I'm not exactly sure what the hell we were doing there.
There are certain Elon is working on that. They're working on patenting a way that you can extract lithium from a certain type of clay that's
that would
pretty
be cool.
Prevalent in North America
would be cool.
Out west.
Now
it's not as efficient. It's not as efficient as conventional lithium mining, but it can be done cleanly without the chemical waste that
I'm glad you said that. I had an argument with a guy not too long ago, a green guy. He's going on about electric cars. I said, dude, one electric car has a footprint of about 5 F-Ford F-150s. He's like, no. I said, dude, you got to strip mine the lithium and raw. And I said, they stick it on a ship, which has got to be shipped to some other country like Japan or somewhere where it's refined. Then it's put back on a ship and shipped. I said, the footprint is huge. I said, a Toyota is made in Japan and shipped to us. I said, that's pretty much it. I said, their little parts are shipped in, but not. I said, this is ridiculous. I said, lithium is ridiculously expensive. And it's crazy. And I said, it's not just that. A lot of the other parts, I said, a lot of the components are electrical parts. I said, it's just, right now, it's going to get better. Tesla proved that you can build a decent, but still, you only get 380 miles out of the thing, and then it takes 4 hours to charge a bitch back on a fast charge.
No, not on a fast charger. You can get up to 80% in 30 minutes on it.
No. I know 2 people own Teslas. They would disagree with that. Matter of fact, one of the guys at the Writers of the Future, we were talking about his Tesla. Now, he said this. Now, we'll be honest about this. So he said when he got the car, it was great. So he said he had it about a year and a couple of months now. And he had, for some reason, they did a rehaul on the nav system, or I guess because the car likes to drive automatic, so I guess they were working on something. But so he said he used to get 420 miles to a full charge. For a full charge, you have 420 miles, and he could drive. He said car's fast as hell, fast as F is what he calls. He said car's nice, it handles nice, it's really nice. And he said when he would charge it on fast charge, when he'd stop at one of the charging stations and put it on fast charge, he said by the time he went shopping and got back, it was fully charged. That was about an hour, 30 minutes. He said now, though, wherever he charges at, whether it's home or there, he said it takes about 3.5 hours to get to a full charge. So I guess maybe the battery's starting to lose some, but he drives a lot. He drives like me. He's probably putting 50,000 miles a year on that car. So A normal person, battery retention may be longer. And lithium batteries tend to do that, especially when you keep them charged a lot. Your phone batteries do that.
Yeah,
The
you can
longer
get
you got
about
the phone,
200,000 miles or so out of a lithium battery, and it'll
yeah,
still be at about 80%.
yeah.
I mean, I think electric cars are just about there. I mean, the charging infrastructure certainly isn't, though.
So this goes back to the same
Shit, we
thing,
can
though.
barely keep the lights on in Texas when it gets cold. I
But
mean, how the fuck are
this
we going
goes
to
back
charge
to
everybody's car and run our AC when it's 105
well,
outside?
this goes back to a conversation I had when I got out of electronics school, and to conversations with you and many other people. We should have self-generating electric cars. It's not that complicated. If I had the extra money, if I had just 800 G's in the bank right now, extra, I could build one. They're not that complicated to build a self-generated. Like as long as it's moving, it's creating power. And you've got four wheels moving. You can create a buttload of power, way more than it's going to take to run that car or to keep them batteries charged.
Yeah, and I've
And
always said you can't build a perpetual motion machine, and they already do that to a certain extent with regenerative
yeah,
braking.
well,
I
they're
mean,
not. They're not. These aren't
ain't
really.
nothing for free, Joe.
Well, these aren't perpetual motion. So what you're getting is you're getting excess power, so your batteries are always charged to max. As long as the car's moving, it's not even running on battery; it's running on its own power. It's just when it stops and takes off, it's going to need it. But it's like anything else, generators are going to wear. I don't know what the technology is for generators right now. What kind of life you would get, and what size generators you need. How much weight would it add to the car? So would you lose performance because of that, or range because of that? But still, I've actually just recently seen a guy on TV talking about this himself. He said, no, it's not impossible to build one. He said, the more efficient our batteries get, the more efficient our engines get. Because electric motors are easy, people. I mean, you can build an electric motor to do anything, and I wish we'd get it figured out how to make them lighter, but still. I mean, you don't really need that big of an electric motor to haul ass in a car.
It's the battery's the problem.
Well, lithium's much better than calcium. I mean, let's be honest. Lithium's a much better
Yeah,
battery.
but it's a problem because it's not a lot of it, and the process of making it, it's really terrible for the world.
It is. It's world for the bad. John, you sure, Josh? Maybe there is lithium in Mexico. I've never checked. That would be nice. It's below our border.
The Israelis have this new motor that runs on hydrogen, which is just basically ionized water, if you want to get technical.
Yeah, well.
And then here's the water going back into the atmosphere again as vapor. You would think like, wow, what a breakthrough.
Well, they've got the hydrogen highway still in California. So if you own a hydrogen vehicle, you can.
Yeah, but I mean, all you can do is basically drive up and down the Pacific coast a little bit.
I was going to say that's all you can do.
But here's the thing, though. It wouldn't be that hard to convert some of the natural gas infrastructure into a hydrogen infrastructure. I mean, wouldn't be that hard to do. I mean, you got natural gas lines running to every single person's house.
Yeah, it's funny because I remember we talked about this originally. Oh, we can't have a nuclear hydrogen bomb on every corner of America. Well, that's a dumb statement. But if you go back to the 1920s when they were starting to put gasoline stations up all over, they were freaking out about it. There was protests in America. It's going to blow up and kill everybody in the neighborhood. And I guess, putting 3 or 4, 50,000 gallon tanks on the ground is a bit scary full of fuel.
Well, speaking of running gases to your house, one thing that's kind of annoyed me is like over the last few months, I've kind of seen a number of articles just treating you like you were a bastard if you prefer to cook on natural gas because electric is so much cleaner and it pollutes inside of your house. And it seemed like all these articles, there was one in particular from the Washington Post written by a woman who's like, I've never cooked on gas, but you know how good electric stoves are? I know how much they suck. I mean, I can cook on electric. I've had both.
Oh,
I
man,
prefer
gas. I actually been thinking about, because I'm getting all new appliances for my house. I've actually been thinking about getting a gas stove because there's a gas stove not, about a half. I don't know.
Look, during our great February freeze over when the electricity quit working, if I did not have a natural gas heater, it would have been a whole lot more. It would have been crappy. I was it was 85 degrees here in my house. I had the flame going. Yeah. I mean,
now
I had to go charge all my crap out in the car, but hey, I was still living like a human being.
Well, you know what? Now Ford's got that new truck that can run your house for 3 days. That's a plus. That's kind of cool that you can plug up to your car and run it. We've talked about that. If anybody ever figures out how to harness like antimatter or what's the other one? I forgot now, but either one of them. Fusion. If they ever learn how to harness these two, Yeah, a car would run off about something about the size of a softball, probably run for
You mean like
1,000 years.
now? There's cold fission, man. That's a whole new thing, different thing.
But
And
these are all
cold
technologies we're
fission,
going to have.
yeah, but cold fission can create an unbelievable amount of power in a
Yeah,
very small area.
that's what I'm
Well, there are a lot
saying.
of people that are working on small,
Well,
like conventional fission reactors right now that I don't know. I think they're kind of cool.
Well, I seen them talking about a fusion reactor size of a pickup, not a pickup truck, the size of an 18-wheeler, could run New York for about 9 years without having to be changed out. That's interesting technology, but we're still. I mean, we might see that in our lifetime, but it's.
Well, none of it's new technology. I mean, it's like the nuclear power plant in Voyager. Scale that up just a little bit. You
Yeah.
could run your house for years
But
without
that's
having
what
to
they're
reach
talking
into it.
about. You could have one about the size of a softball running your car, and your car and your house could be interchangeable if you had to use a power source. Those are interesting tech, and I do believe we're going to get there. And that may bring what actually brings us real flying cars. I see these people making these flying drone looking things, these four copter things where you can sit it and fly around it, and you can drive. And they actually been approved in Europe. You can land it on the road, drive away, and stuff. It's kind of cool.
But you got to
So
think
if-
about it though. Once you've got millions and millions of those things out in circulation, and then, well, let's say you've got some dumbass tweaker that's like trying to crack the reactor shell to get the copper out of it so he can go sell it. I don't know it might not be viable once you get it in the hands of the population. Because let's face it, a lot of us are dumb.
Well, you see, and that's another thing they don't have to really. I kind of agree with that. Actually, they could actually set so they could build one about the size of a small car and place it in a neighborhood. Have it in like a regular power plant kind of setup, and they would supply everybody power, and it would be it'd be a separate grid on its own. So it'd be interesting, and you could protect it that way. Because I'm kind of worried. So I did hear one scientist. He actually said this. He said, "Well, if we ever decide to make it a public thing, we need to make it to where if it gets cracked open, it goes dead." Yeah, and I'm like, well, wait, if we're talking antimatter, well, that's not inert matter. That shit's going to hit the regular matter, make a boom. And I said, if it's fusion, well, maybe you can do something to make it go dead, but I don't know enough about it.
Yeah, well, we're 50 years away from usable fusion.
Oh, I
And
agree with
God
that.
knows how far, like Star Trek away from antimatter,
Well,
if we ever
right.
get there.
Tesla, way back when, had a plan on giving free electricity to people through the air, and then that was very easily and doable, and that was 100 years ago, man. You know what I
Well,
mean?
they can still do it today, but it's a little more dangerous today because of the population. But actually, if they really truly wanted to, they could put solar mirrors about 3 miles across in space and beam power directly down to a power plant and let it distribute it around.
But they won't do it because it'll be free.
Well, it wouldn't exactly be
It wouldn't
free.
be
It'd be
free.
it'd be a lot
it costs
cheaper.
a lot
but it
to
wouldn't
put
be
shit
free.
in space, but I mean, once you get the infrastructure up there, it more or less pays for itself.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, eventually you'd see really, really, really cheap
They
electricity.
would never allow people to have anything good.
Oh,
That's
they're
the
gonna
way it goes, man.
actually what you're going to see in this country and probably around the world is you're going to see a 4 or 5 tier power system come up instead of the conventional one we have today. We're going to still incorporate wind, even though it's useless. Really, for the amount of windmills you got to have to power something, it's kind of stupid.
Well,
Same thing with basic solar, but all that's going to change in the
I'm
future.
leaving all you behind, man, because I'm in my lab and I'm making viruses myself, and I'm working on a luck virus.
Oh my
So
God!
when you catch this virus, you're
He's living
lucky
in
for-
China. People go
You're
get
lucky
him.
for 24 hours, man. Go out there, everything good. You know what? There is even a sexual attractiveness virus, man. You know what I mean? I'm working on positive viruses.
See, that's what happens when you live
that's-
too far north, Mike.
That's what Michael
Jason,
Angley
air
does
gets
in his time. Positive viruses, man. Not the stuff that hurts you, stuff that makes you happy. How's
Mike,
that?
Mike,
I don't know.
we
I'm about
didn't
ready
do
to
the
leave
news.
all
We
this
got
shit
off in
behind and
science.
go live on Elon's Mars colony.
Yeah,
Actually,
I'm
you know
going
when I
there.
would go to Mars? This is why I would go to Mars. I would go to Mars to die.
Well, that's what
That would
Elon
be pretty
said.
cool to fucking see.
That's what Elon said. He wants to die on Mars. He said that
Very
publicly. I
morbid.
mean, Oh, wait. Let me play this. Let me say because I've been getting bugged about this. Hold on. I hope. Yeah, look, it better be the right one. So here we go.
If you had my luck virus, you wouldn't have to worry
Our troops
about
have
any
fought
of
this
this.
battle on fields around the world, but also
This guy
the
looks like he's on
battle
crack.
of our time. And the mission falls to each of us, each and every day. Democracy itself is in peril,
Demonocracy.
here at home and around the world. What we do now
Well, the problem
What we
is
do
we
now.
actually don't have a
How we honor
boogeyman that
the memory of
anybody's
the
really
fallen.
afraid of.
Determine
Terrorism,
whether or
that
not
shit's got so
democracy was
old,
wrong
everybody
and
got
endured.
used to it.
Yeah, well, they
Russia
tried to
ain't
make
the old Soviet Union, despite everybody trying to bring them up as the evil bad guy.
Because the
China ain't
terrorists and the
quite there yet.
Christians got together and realized that they have the same views. That's why.
It's I don't know. There really isn't a boogeyman. I mean, we're not really worried about Russian Americans. Don't worry about China or Russia attacking us because we know if we do, it's the end of the world. So why worry about it?
I love Russia.
No, you know what the new boogeyman is? The new boogeyman is your fellow Americans. Whether you have a R or a D on your fucking hat.
PC.
You know that.
People, we the centralists, so we're not really.
Oh man, all this Dave Chappelle crap that's been going on.
Oh,
Look,
that's just
I watched the
hilarious.
special. I didn't think it was that offensive.
I love Dave Chappelle, man.
Well, you know, this is something we've talked about on station
Well,
before.
I've actually got something to say about that as an Asian, and I was one of the only Asians in this little BFE county in Texas for forever. So
you
know,
I got the only person of color in that county. What the hell are you talking about?
Well, there's plenty of color in this county. Just only a couple of us were Asian.
Okay.
But it's like, look, one of the people that was did you hear about the way the media was saying, 1,000 Netflix employees are going to walk out and protest, and it ended up being 28 of them. It ended up being organized by this black activist lady who, well, people went and looked back on her Twitter account, and she just hates some Asians, threatening violence, MF these Asians, MF that Asians, talking bad about Mexicans, calling gay people the F word. And here she is leading this walkout for diversity. And nobody's really got a problem with that. But if you're Dave Chappelle and you call somebody's new vagina,
it's not like we didn't know the
beyond
liberals weren't
pussy,
hypocrites.
you
learned
you're like the worst person in the world.
Anybody over the age of 15 should know the Democrats are hypocrites. I mean, that's just who they are.
Everybody's hypocrites. Everybody's trying to get shit canceled. All these Republicans and Christian right people angry about cancel culture. Do y'all remember when you tried to get Harry Potter out of school libraries because it was witchcraft and you didn't want your little precious Christian children becoming witches and shit? Everybody's a hypocrite.
I love that. Harry Potter.
It's well, you know, it's funny you brought that up because, you know, when I was out in LA last week with Writers of the Future, which, man, by the way, these people are fabulous, man. Jason, you'd have loved it. Anybody who even reads even halfway would have loved it. I mean, they're just fabulous people. And
I've got a bunch of those Writers of the Future books. It's like, Dad had this thing. He was in the Navy. He went everywhere. He bought like used paperback sci-fi books are basically our thing, and I've read thousands of them. And those Writers of the Futures books are actually pretty cool. I like short story anthologies, and I like science fiction.
Oh yeah, and they got a lot of good
some of the best in the business.
I put up,
and they're the Writers of the Future. You know, it's somebody that you probably haven't read before.
Yeah, so I mean, the judges are all famous writers and artists and stuff like that, but. I posted 20.
They need to hire some of those people for this new Babylon 5 reboot because
they might. Well, we'll talk about that. But I did interviews with 24 of them. I got 17 of them already posted on YouTube. I got to go correct names and stuff. But they're a good group coming up, man.
What's that video up of you, Joe? Man, that was awesome.
Yeah, that's because I'm sexy beast man. But that's just I can't help if Hollywood loves my face.
Sure,
there's nothing I can. There's nothing I don't have around. But they it was a good thing, but we've been talking about getting books into southern schools, you know, like in bad neighborhoods and all that can't really get hold of books like that. Because, you know, I know a lot of people who had a shitty life and then started reading sci-fi in their life tended to move forward.
Abraham Lincoln.
Look, it was hard over here. It's like around here, it's always been like if you go to used bookstores and Goodwills and like rummage sales, it's like all either Louis L'Amour books that Grandma already had anyway, or shitty ass Harlequin novels. I mean, one wall was Western, the other wall was pink. You know,
that doesn't surprise me even when that way you live anyway. In case y'all know, Justin's like in the middle of the woods in the middle of Texas. Now he lives in a town.
He's in the probing central part of Texas.
Hey, but he leaves.
You were asking why people live here in Texas. It's like I have 2 houses on 90 acres of property. And my property taxes are $1,300 a year.
Can't beat that with a stick. And
that's why people live in Texas.
We
No
live in
income
Texas.
tax.
We all love Texas, man. We all love Texas. Where do you get all Berkeley shit from? It's well, we all love
Look,
our
I got
Texas.
some things to say about Texas, though. I mean, I'm kind of like right in the middle between Dallas and Houston. Nothing's expanded out this far yet, and I'm, kind of in the woods.
Not only is in the woods, but if you
either.
if
I'm
you
in
drive
like this little strip between the piney woods and like that Central Texas Savannah Prairie stuff. There's like it's called the Post Oak Belt. I'm like right in that little strip.
Yeah, well, when you drive down there, Mike, you drive through
It
like
starts
you
getting
gotta
nice
pay
again
attention.
once you get out into the hill country.
Yeah, there's like 50 little towns you got to go to get to his house. Man, I'm driving along doing 75. Whoop, got to slow down. Got to these bitches, cops everywhere. Every town had cops sitting there.
You got that Buford T. Justice, that cop, man.
Oh, well, Josh, I got some family up in
Texas is the speed. Texas like gives you this false sense of security because you're on like a 2-lane highway, nothing special, and it's like, damn, the speed limit's 75 here. Then the next thing you know, you run into some little town. It's like, all right, now you got to creep going 30 through the middle of it. And each and every one of those little towns has decided that the best way to make a little bit of money is to have some little bitty cop sitting there. Here's the rules in Texas. If you want to, hang with the left lane. There's safety in numbers. Everywhere else, 6, 7 over, you'll probably be okay. Little shithole towns, if it says go 40, go 40.
Oh yeah, the little towns you got to putt through them. That's just one of the things.
My little pathetic town of like,
and he's in
like
East
around
Texas.
500 people has a crappy little cop that when one does work, they don't answer 911 calls. They really don't do shit else except for camp that little 40-mile an hour.
They're revenuers, man. They raise money.
Yeah.
But it's just as bad in West Texas. I mean, we get on the other side, you got to putt through that. And
but hey, for the most part, they leave us locals alone. So
yeah, they're more interested. I mean, last time I got stopped, I had New York plates in the car. They were like, "Well, hey, New York." I said, and as soon as the color had all kind of attitude, and as soon as my Louisiana license, he just chilled out. He's like, "Oh, you."
Anytime I go anywhere out of Texas, it's like I assume that they're gonna be like, Texas plates. He must be a mule.
I know, huh? He's dealing big time. Let's pull him over. 10 for that boy. Put that big boy over. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. It's what do you mean Biden's a what? He's not a communist. Biden's an idiot. Yeah, he's not a communist.
He's in his mid-80s. I mean, what do you expect out of him?
He's just 78, but he's just I don't know, man. No, it scares me too. No, look, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. So they're gonna sweep in 2022. They're gonna sweep the House and the Senate. It's gonna be a sweep for the Republicans.
Everybody acts like it's some big partisan shift in the country, but everybody loses in the midterms.
So usually the House almost always switches back in the first 2 years of any presidency. Now, Trump got lucky and Bush got lucky, and they had a couple of years with both. But still,
they're counting on it, man. It's this way the Democrats can blame the Republicans for everything. They won't let us get through.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what Biden accomplishes.
I've heard that all my life, man.
Biden could bring Jesus down and have him talk on the podium.
Down from where?
It's not going to help him. It's not going to help him. He's got a bomb out there.
Jesus up?
I don't know, but he's got a bomb out there. Matter of fact, they were talking about, look, Obama's coming back to run the country. He's got a bomb out there doing all kinds of stuff. They're saying, they're not running around each other. And they're not meeting.
Every 3 seconds, you're dragging Jews into it, man. Poor Jesus.
All Obama's really been doing is just showing the flag every now and then to make the foot soldiers feel like somebody still cares. Because, I mean, look, I think Trump was an absolute just experimental disaster. I don't know.
He did good stuff.
Another nicer way to put it. Biden is just like the most milquetoast thing I've ever seen. He can't get his own party to do anything. I mean, come on. I mean, I couldn't stand her, and I certainly did not vote for it. But I bet you Hillary would have got some shit done.
No, Trump got far more done.
Party.
No, if you look the progression of what's been going on, Obama didn't get anything done in 8 years. Nothing at all. Other than get people talking about bathrooms, which I thought was a joke. Trump came in and got several big things done right off the bat. And then, of course, he's an idiot. Nobody's going to pay attention. That was his problem. If he would have just chilled his ass out some, he'd have stayed president second time. He had to brag too much. I got this done. I got that done. Well, yeah, okay, we can see that. We all watch freaking TV. We know what you got done, what you didn't get done. And I give him credit. I give him credit for the economy. I give him credit for a lot of things. I give him credit for getting the virus stuff
Well,
together.
there are disasters going on that Biden's ignoring, like stocking shelves
But
with items
frankly,
that is
that's the
sitting
thing, though.
offshore.
I would bet you,
It's
I'd bet you
going on for months
$1,000
now.
if Trump would have stayed president, the economy would be better. It'd be none of this stock and shelf bullshit because he'd already sent the National Guard out to fix it.
I don't know. It's kind
different.
of been like interesting watching the little playing game going on about like,
it's always
basically the port of Los Angeles.
Well, now, Kevin, I didn't
You got
vote.
the port blaming the truck drivers.
Wait till
You
the
got the
crappy
truck
holidays
drivers
kick
saying,
in,
"Look,
man.
we're showing up and nothing's happening.
I
We're
don't
waiting
buy
hours and
anything on
hours."
those ships.
Yeah.
So whatever, man. Like whatever's coming, I really don't
Well,
care.
they're saying. Well, I got a lot of stuff waiting on ships because I'm doing construction, but they're saying, California.
Everything you buy is on one of those ships. We don't make shit here anymore.
I don't buy anything
that's
anymore.
not true. A lot of manufacturing came back under Trump. That's one of the things.
And if
I
we
liked
do
about
make
it.
anything in America anymore, it's assembled from shit from over there.
No, we brought quite a business back while Trump was on. It was actually quite a big thing about how much business he brought back.
There's a lot of manufacturing going on.
Yeah, there's a lot more manufacturing going in the country than there was before when Obama was president. He did bring a lot of businesses back. See, that's a problem for poor Trump. He did a lot of good things for the country he'll never get credit for.
And also, Germany's starting to become a huge manufacturer again. They have a lot of people there now that need jobs, man. So that's interesting.
I think you're just seeing a fundamental shift away from China. The United States, unfortunately, is going to have to make some of its stuff because Japan can't make all. That's why we went to China. Japan couldn't keep up with the demand. Japan loved us as a customer, but they were like, "Wait, man, y'all are killing us. This is not enough."
No, Japan simply couldn't keep up with cheap, basically slave labor.
No, that's true too. But now we got all these people. Oh no, you can't. And that's what happened to poor China. Once all this started going on, everybody started talking about how bad they treat their people and their kids, and that never stopped us in the past. But unfortunately for them, Wuhan virus gave everybody another look at them, and then how they treat their pets and animals and shit. So that turned a lot of people on us. It's going to be a long time. And France knew this. This happened to France with the United States one time. I forgot what it was, but I remember it instantly. It's something to do with Perry War. And instantly, next day, half of America just quit buying it, and then they started quit buying other products. So China's just in that position now. Can they come out of it and survive? I don't know. They've got to figure out a way to feed the masses or cut back on the population, and I don't see that happening unless they start a war with India. And then I did see India boasting their troops along China border, but
China's got a lot of its problems, and you can continue like cheerleading and counting China out, but just look where they've come in my lifetime. China went from a booming, screaming China, and visited them, and now they make all of our shit.
Did China do it? No. They stole the technology from America or was sold the technology from America.
No, we outsourced the technology because they could make shit cheaper. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, well, that's stupidity on our part if we're doing that. But I heard just the other day they were doing estimates. They're still saying we're 75 to 80 years ahead of China. So obviously we got stuff we're not seeing. I did see, though.
How are we 70 to 80 years ahead of China? They make all of our best high-tech stuff.
No, they're not even allowed to make any of the real chips. That's not even how that works.
You can't even put F-22 together without magnets from China.
I don't know. I see a lot of F-22 flying, buddy. I don't think that's true. We
can
get magnetic stuff.
Actually,
I forgot what act it was, but none of our jets or any of our equipment, for that matter, cannot have to be sourced out. It has to be made inside the country. Even if we have to get the stuff from outside, we have to make it inside of our country. That's one of the rules. That way, we try to limit the theft of technology that way. It doesn't work, but they try to limit the theft of technology that way.
That's what everybody needs to watch out about Taiwan for, because if Taiwan falls or just their business gets disrupted by some Chinese stuff for any reason, we're basically out of microchips. That's where most of them come from.
That's true. That's true. A lot of stuff comes out of Taiwan. Because we could trust, for some reason, we decided to trust them, and then we don't trust China, which is true because you can't trust China. China's proved over and over they can't be trusted. As long as they got a communist country, a government, they're just never going to amount to shit because they can't. They're the corruption. There's a lot of corruption in the United States, not as bad as Russia, but China's worse than Russia, and there's a lot of corruption in Russia.
Joe. A nation that is willing to go through things like 50-year plans. And, the last one went pretty well for them. I mean, look how far they've come.
Yeah, but she's under pressure now. The Communist Party Xi Jinping's under pressure now. They don't like this big fall they took. And then everybody busted them. They were building all in buildings all over their country. And there's nothing in them. There's nobody in them. They're empty. There's resource
that's what happens when you run a debt-based economy and you let it go too far. We're doing the same thing. China,
but somehow or another, the U.S. learns how to balance it. China just hasn't learned that lesson yet. And then they got to worry about India.
Currency of the world. We bail ourselves out, and everybody's like, "Yeah, we can't rock the boat."
Yeah, but India is well on their way to catching up with China. They may even pass China up soon. Now that the United States and all of our allies decide to start giving them technology. Microsoft over there building their computers for them. They're like, no, we're going to show you how to take it over. And wait. Look, Aussies, I love you.
The only thing India does is tech support, and they do it poorly.
Yeah, they do it piss poorly. No, but they're building a lot of electronics these days. So why did we decide to give Australia a nuclear subfleet? Was that just to piss off the Chinese? Is that what that was about?
Yep.
No, we didn't give them a nuclear subfleet.
Well, we're
helping them, and we're getting paid to make technology in France through a hissy fit because the Australians are like, "You subs of shit, mate," and they bought them from us in the UK.
They actually, I thought they were going to do the big nuclear subs down there. So we'll see how it's going to go. But it sounds interesting for them. 10 nukes subs floating around in the ocean. Extra.
Look, that's also saber rattling with China too, because China's like, "Oh, what do they need submarines for?" It's like,
shoot your ass. That's what they need.
Why does anybody? You know what? Someone asked me, "What do you need an AR-15 for?" And I said, "Because I like the goddamn thing." That's it. That's the only reason.
That is an interesting thing. Mike.
I don't want an AR-15 because everybody and their brothers got one, and I got to be a little different.
So
I just like the thing, man. I love it. As a matter of fact, I love the way it shoots.
Xi Jinping and the Communist Party said that America is uninvadable. It would not be worth the cost of life on both sides to invade. He said the only way you could take America is to nuke the whole country. He said because unfortunately, he said every American's going to shoot everybody.
Well,
freaking hands
it's
off.
Beyond that. You thinking borders?
And the country's armed to the hilt.
Don't think borders. Think that America has got bases all around the world. We are 3 minutes strike time from any place with nuclear warheads. That you can't fight. Just something you can't.
But you got to wonder why Russia gave into that, because it used to be we had to be a good distance off, and now we're talking about putting nukes back in Poland. We're talking about putting nukes all over the place again.
Because we got those B fucking 2 bombers, man. There's stealth bombers everywhere. They're like tucked in everywhere with nuclear warheads. We could just destroy.
I can tell you now, the next big war.
They need to not fuck around and let China take over space, because then we're all screwed.
No, we already got that handled. But so
this is the same country that played. What was that Top Gun movie? They took excerpts of Top Gun and like put that out there as their own fleet and their own planes, like dogfighting. Hysterical, man. Really funny.
Do there? What the hell's going on? Oh, there it is. You're going to see a couple of things change in the world pretty soon. America's businesses are going to get so rich they're going to have more money than China. At the rate Tesla, at the rate Elon's going, if he gets into the asteroid belts, there's asteroid belts and asteroids anywhere $3 and $4 trillion. You can mine 10 of these and have more money than China could ever get in its lifetime. So this is it's going to be a dangerous game. We're going to see it.
But with the things that China is working on and their future space development, they're trying to get there first.
They ain't going to get there first. And the bad part is, I'm not sure if we get there first, if we're going to let them get there.
Well, if Elon doesn't do it, who in America is going to do it? Boeing can't do it. They can't get a fucking space capitalist.
No, that's not true, because DARPA's been flying at that Mach 12
has
ship.
had 20 years, and all we can come up with is a dick rocket. His engines that he owes the United Launch Alliance,
that's not true. DARPA's been flying a Mach 12 plane for 10 years now. No telling what they got. We know the Aurora is real now because it's been proven that it exists. So that's the problem. I told this with everybody with Desert Storm. I said, this is what y'all going to see. You're going to see our first deployment of our real stealth technology, which nobody even knew existed at the time. Bam! It came right out. They showed it was already 15 years old when they put it out. We've got it. We always keep at least one something ahead. It's just the way America works. We've always been like that. We're not going to change that. Whether it's a TR-3B, Aurora, whatever it may be, there's something ahead. Next generation.
Yeah, that's junk now, man. We got the drones, and we have all these things that are.
No, we know pulse drives work. So we knew 3 different types of drives work. We knew RAN scoops.
Yeah, but here's the deal, though. Even if China's got cheaper, slightly worse crap than we do, the best copies they can make, they can Zerg rush us. They have all of the production capability in the world, basically.
Not if the people are starving, they don't.
No, in a short war, if we can't knock them out, they will eventually eat us for lunch.
But that's the problem. It's not going to be like that. America will immediately take out their fleet. It's not even. It really their fleet's a paper tiger compared to ours. It may be
No,
bigger,
it's not
but
their
it's nowhere.
fleet
You're
that you
talking.
worry
See,
about.
all
What
you
you do
guys
is you
saying the wrong
carpet bomb
stuff, man.
Shenzhen.
As far as an
Carpet
air
bomb
attack
is
saying the
goes,
wrong
industrial
stuff.
capability.
With China, it's
China
about.
can never get air superiority. That's
You
a
don't
plain
understand
simple
China.
truth.
You don't understand the mentality. They're putting their people all around the world, and they're breeding. I mean, you know,
China can do
and
whatever they
they're
want.
in huge numbers in universities. And they're having children. This is going on for
That's good.
years
The
and
more,
years
let
now.
me tell you what, the more you Americanize the Chinese, the better off as Americans are.
But these are Chinese nationals, so you have to consider it, man.
Yeah,
They
but
want to build a
you gotta
whole
consider
city for
how many of
China
these,
north of New York City, and they already voted to do it, man.
you also got to think how many of these Chinese want to be Americans.
Yeah, but this is from personal anecdotal experience. You know what most of those straight out of the communist bloc of China do when they come here and start going to college and come
Eat
to
pizza.
America? Hell yeah. They eat pizza, they smoke some weed, and they become fucking Americans.
Yeah, they are like so happy to be out of China. They ain't even funny.
Dude, you know how many dime bags I was selling to little Chinese exchange students? It was ridiculous.
Well, you know what's weird about this is
it's beyond the statute of limitations.
So,
do what you will with that.
In Texas, there's no such thing as statute of limitations. You've been to a crime, they're just gonna come get you.
Yeah, they lock you.
Oh man, we just did this dumb shit where all the little head shops were telling this hemp-based THC Delta 8, and it's like, yeah, it kind of gets you lifted like weed does. It seems relatively safe. All of a sudden, out of the blue, because all these little vape shops and head shops were selling the hell out of that stuff since hemp became illegal. All of a sudden, out of the blue, no warning, states like, y'all can't sell this shit anymore. It's like a controlled substance. It's like if you've got a vape, oh, you've got concentrate. You're going to jail. That could be a felony. It's just utter complete Look, dude, Texas has a lot of cool people in it, but we are run by blowhard assholes. And the reason so many of these blowhard assholes get elected is like in this little bumpkin county where I'm at, the GOP is 80% every year, 20% Democrats every single year. So the Democrats act like we don't even exist here. It's like, why should we even try? And that's how you get these wannabe hard asses like Abbott, trying to show out. I'm the most conservative. I'm the most Christian. I'm the most Texan.
I'm the most asshole.
And we get that kind of shit.
Mark,
then again, you read all this crap on MSNBC like, oh, could Texas be purple? Could Texas turn blue? It's like, yeah, Austin, parts of Dallas, Fort Worth, San Antonio, and El Paso might go blue. A lot of them are already blue, but the Democrats act like I do not exist. So they're never going to turn all these smaller.
They're not going to get them. That's how it always works. Mark, actually,
it's like you look at my ballot. It's like state senators, state level legislature, Republican running unopposed.
Yeah, well, that happens a lot of times. You should just run, Jason. But no, Mark, air superiority. No,
dude, I don't want part of that inbred shit here, dude. That's how you describe Texas politics. Y'all's is just straight up screwed up down there in Louisiana. It's on its own level. Ours is just
it's got its own level of corruption.
That is what it is.
But no, Mark, to answer your question, America doesn't have to have air superiority. China, Europe will. Yeah, they don't have a shot against Europe. Yeah, no, and we got a lot of F-22s and a lot of F-35s over there. And there's also, believe it or not, the Norwegians build some badass airplanes, man. They do. They build some badass aircraft up there. So I mean, Russia's got a few planes, but not like they used to.
Yeah.
China's got a lot of planes.
The fourth largest army in the world.
Well, Russia's actually developed some pretty cool planes. I mean, the Su-57,
yeah,
it's not that stealthy, but it can out dogfight anything, and it's got some pretty good avionics. But at last count, Russia's got 2 of them flying.
Yeah, I know. So I'm saying. So let me explain to people how the next air war is going to go. F-22s are going to fly in. They don't even have to see the planes anymore to kill them. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. F-22s can kill anything it wants without ever seeing the plane. That's how badass their systems are. The F-35 can do the same thing. So they don't have to get close. But don't understand. We've upgraded the F-16s, the F-18s. We've been steady upgrading everything.
But here's the thing, Joe. It's about to all go to mostly drone warfare. Who cares if we can build a better drone? If China builds a half-ass copy of them, they can crank out 100 to 1 from what we can build. And that's what the numbers come down to, dude.
Yeah,
all right,
that's fine.
look
I
at how
agree.
World
I
War
agree
II
they
was.
can't. But
Russia had,
one out of every three is going to fall out of
Germany
the
had
sky.
superior military technology. A lot of it was so high tech, it was actually kind of finicky, but they couldn't make very much of it. Us and Russia basically Zerg rushed them with cheap shit. That's what would happen to us now if a war broke out.
But see, I would worry about that more. But Chinese products suck, and it's not going to change in the warfare because they're going to be short on
I'm
material.
gonna get out of here. It's midnight, man. What the hell are we
Yeah, I
still
know.
doing?
We get ready to go. We get ready to go. But that's the two things people don't
Isn't
realize.
Kathy Bilski gonna be riding her
She's on in a minute. She's actually she can pick up while we're on.
her vibrating crystal, man, for Halloween?
But she can pick up while you're on. But the way it's really going to work is, first thing anybody's going to do is cut China off of everything. You're not going to get any more materials to build anything.
This is my experience with Kathy Bilski. It's like I was happy to have a new person on the network. Went into her room for 5 seconds and she was talking about something. And I had typed an interesting viewpoint I had heard somebody else say about the same subject, but I was still agreeing with her. I was banned and blocked forever.
Okay.
I was
Jason, you're bad, man. You're a base. You're just bad. Yeah, he's bad. I know him personally. He's bad. He needed to be banned, probably. But we got to go, guys. Coming up tomorrow, I'm going to be on with John and Emily Goodwin. We're going to be talking about the affair out in LA, which is a lot of fun. And we're going to get into a lot more details about what actually went on. And I'll be back out there in April attending the next one. I didn't realize they're actually held in April. So for everybody I didn't get to see out in LA, I'll be out there again. And maybe I can spend a little extra time catching up with some friends. But man, I'm telling you, these people are fabulous. But come check it out. It's going to be where the Gray Zone is at 5 to 7. We'll just be doing a regular show. But I mean, these people put on a great event.
And then Halloween.
And then Sunday night, the station's having its regular Halloween party. Usually we did one for New Year's. We usually do 1 or 2 parties a year, 3 parties a year where the host can actually misbehave. Because I've gotten kind of strict on the host over the years, so it allows them to misbehave. So then we talk a lot of scary shit, a lot of crazy shit, and God knows what else. And the conversation will shift back and forth depending on who's talking. But there won't be any politics, so you don't have to worry about that. It'll just be mostly weird shit, to tell you the truth. And maybe some music here and there.
What time, man?
I'm going to start at my time at 6, so it's 7 your time. And I might start a little early because it takes a little while to send out invitations and all. And if anybody's out there, you want to come join us, you can pop in the chat room. If you're not if you're insane,
I'll probably bow out on that one. I'll be too busy watching my dog chase kids out of my yard. Humbug.
Be mean to them kids, man. And but it's only night we let the host drink and shit while they're on air, so it always gets a little interesting, to be honest with you. Usually on Halloween I'm not home. This is a rare event for me to be home on a Halloween.
COVID-19 Halloween.
I know I was invited to quite a few parties. Well, I invited quite a few parties tomorrow, but man, I'm beat, man. We've been busy as shit at work, and then I was out in LA for a week. I'm just wore out. I need some rest after I get caught up. But we got Christmas coming. We got Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's coming up, so we got a lot going on. But guys, we're going to get out of here because Kathy is on now. You can catch her over there. Just pop into her show and click, and send her a like. Tell her Jason Wilson said she is the hottest thing on the planet, and he loves her beyond belief. And we'll go from there. But on that note, guys,
she can ride that quartz.
Anyway, guys, good night, sleep tight, and don't let the Halloween bug bite.
Ooh.